The Sudanese king, King Khalid, had fought, had resisted, had defeated the Arabs who were coming with Islam into Sudan. The Arabs, unable to penetrate or hold Sudan, brokered a deal with King Khalid called the Bact Treaty, and it stood firm for 600 years. In 642 AD, Amir al-As tried to penetrate and conquer Sudan, and they were fiercely resisted and defeated in Dongola. Amir al-As had conquered Egypt in 641 AD and began Islamizing Egypt, and then also was trying to go through North Africa, but it was Sudan that were trying to penetrate, and through the Sudanese we resisted the Arabs and the Islamization of Africa until they came back round again. Sudan is the pride of Africa. They have saved Africa more than 5 times from the Asiatics. Queen Amani Renas resisted and defeated the Romans, and then sent diplomats to Rome to broker a deal with Augustus Caesar, and then there was a peace treaty for 300 years. Egypt fell. When the Arabs came, Egypt fell. When the Assyrians came, Egypt fell. It took King Pianki, coming from Sudan, to go and wrestle Egypt from the Assyrians, the Asians. Herodotus said that the Egyptians were woolly-haired and thick-lipped and black. Aristotle grouped the Egyptians with the Ethiopians, i.e. the Sudanese. Diodorus Siculus stated that the Egyptians were a colony sent out by the Sudanese, the Ethiopians. The Greeks spoke to the Egyptians, asked about where they came from. The Egyptians always said from the south or southeast. Who are you going to believe? Those that saw and witnessed and said that they were black, or the 19th century racist archaeologists and anthropologists and Egyptologists? Who are you going to believe? Now, the treaty that the Arabs signed with Khalid was only going to go ahead if the Arabs can guarantee that, hey, they're going to have slaves or servants coming from inner Africa. Otherwise, they'll keep trying and trying and trying and trying. Can you imagine? Now, this was a tumultuous period in Africa, so there was always wars, and then that's how slaves will come about. But still, it's disgusting, and this shows you that Islam has always been after slaves. Nubians have always been known as some of the best archers in the world, some of the best warriors in the world. The Arabs called them the eye smiters because they could get their pupil right from far. Now, if a kingdom, an empire, wants to do well, it must have its soldiers from its own kingdom, and they must look like the people from the region. Soldiers in ancient Egypt looked like this. They were coming from Sudan and Somalia, or the Major people, or the Bija people. Remember that I said Sudan is the pride of Africa. King Nama came from the south, Venice, a place that had its relationship and connection with Nubia, Lower Nubia, and went to Lower Egypt, which was distinct and different from Upper Egypt because Upper Egypt was African, black, and conquered and eliminated the Asiatics, people from the Middle East. Atmos I drove out the Hyksos, people from the Middle East. The whole Middle Kingdom from the 12th dynasty was all about driving out the Asiatics, the people who now call themselves the Egyptians. This is an Egyptian. This is an Asiatic. This is a Nubian. This is how the Egyptians saw the Nubians, though some Nubians did look like this. And then this is someone from Libya. You see? That's a Nubian, by the way. The ancient Egyptians saw most Nubians or the Sudanese as these beautiful sisters right here. But they knew that Lower Nubia had people of this hue and this hue. And Upper Egypt had people of this hue the most, with the people of this hue going more when you're going into Upper Nubia and then the greater parts of Sudan and into Africa. The Egyptians called the land of their origins Ta-Necha as the land of Amun and the land of Hathor. When they will represent who the people from Punt look like, they did not show that they look different from the ancient Egyptians themselves, proving that 20,000 years ago, people, or the Cushitic people, moved to that region and formed an alliance with the Nubians. If you don't know who you are who other people tell you you are. Know yourself and know you're great warriors and you come from a great history.